Federal prosecutors and defense lawyers Rashawn Diddy Combs meeting right now to hear jury instructions from a judge. It comes after prosecutors removed attempted kidnapping and attempted arson as underlying crimes in the alleged racketeering charges against Combs. The defense had argued that there is no evidence directly tying Combs to the arson that damaged rapper Kid Cudi's Porsche. The defense also argued that the alleged kidnapping of Combs' former employee, Capricorn Clark, was far removed from the heart of the case. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges and denies any wrongdoing. Legal contributor and trial attorney Brian Buckmeyer joining me now from outside court. So, Brian, prosecutors spent days, had multiple witnesses testifying about the alleged arson on Kid Cudi's Porsche. So how consequential is it that, it could be removed from the racketeering conspiracy? Does it matter?
Yeah, Kira, when it comes to the arson, for at least this charge, it's almost an all or nothing. It's not that the arson is taken out as a predicate act for that RICO conspiracy. It's that the attempted arson is taken out. And there are at least two other charges similar to that, like the aiding and abetting of sex trafficking or the attempted kidnap that's being taken out. But the sex trafficking and the kidnapping as whole charges are still there. What this basically means is it's almost like an all or nothing when it comes to the racketeering conspiracy for some of these charges that they say are predicates to the criminal enterprise that Sean Combs was at the head of.
So tomorrow, both the defense and prosecution will deliver closing arguments. What are you expecting?
So for the government, I expect a very formulaic system of here are the charges, being conspiracy for racketeering, the sex trafficking, 2 counts, one for Cassie and another for the woman who testified under the pseudonym of Jane, and then again, similarly for transportation to engage in prostitution. And what we're going to hear in just a few minutes as the charging conference begins is the different elements and the explanation of those charges, and I think the government's going to tick through those one by one to try to prove their case. The defense is going to try to argue the insufficiencies in the evidence that applies to those arguments and those elements of the crime and show where the government failed to meet their burden. We saw that they put on no witnesses in their case, so they're not putting forward alternative information or alternative witnesses to provide other sets of facts. Instead, the defense is laser focused on the idea that the prosecution or the government didn't prove their case.
Brian Buckmeyer, thank you. And for more on the trial, you can catch the Burden of Proof show, The Case Against Diddy, right here on ABC News Live every night, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Also, Brian's podcast, Bad Rap, The Case Against Diddy. You can get that anywhere that you listen to your podcasts.